YouTube fans. This is Grimlock Gone coming back at you. Today I was going to tell to you about, I've been picking up some power to primes. I have been working on another dreamcast. I should say working on an old one that actually was working fine, and I decided to redo it and ended up messing up the cable, and now I'm having to resolder cable. It's a long story. Make it short, I'm just redoing it. I'll show you that in a second. They had a reissue. I think you've probably seen it online and everything else at Walmart. It had a reissue of the Starscream, Hieronymus, well, not Rodimus, but Hot Rod, and the Constructicons. I'd love to get a hold of the Constructicons, but I did come across, and I did pick up the Starscream. Yes, I got the Starscream. I've been wanting this for a long time, and I figured the only way I could do it was find an old one and piece it together. But they had a reissue, and my wife was like, "You're a kid, go get it, because you know you're going to annoy me about it." And I'm like, "Yay!" Like a little 13-year-old, like her old 2-year-old and everything else. She puts up with it and everything else. But the missiles on it everything is compatible with the old ones. And let me construe that. This is the gun that come for it, and this come off of Thruster or whatever. I can't think of his name. Let's say Thrust, but this is one of the. Oh, this is an original G1, right? The hands fit. This is actually Starscream's hands, and it came with a Megatron gun and everything else. The only thing that doesn't fit from the older version to the newer is that the missiles inside of here, right? These are bigger than the older ones. So I got wild animals. Sorry about that. I had a bunch of my neighbors gone check the mail. Dogs go out and chase them. A little 3-legged chicken dog. But yeah. So the missiles will not work on they're a little bit fatter than the original G1 missile launchers. So yeah, that's the only thing. But they are exact copy from what I can look at and everything else. Exact copy. What just I'm hoping is that with this reissue and everything else from the Walmart exclusive and everything else, that there'll be more of these popping back up online, because these I've seen online go for 30, 10, 30, whatever, according, and that's part of the, I don't have one for this little guy, all right, because it's not impossible. I mean, really, you're paying for a piece of plastic and a metal, and it's like, what, you want $15, $30 for that? It's ridiculous. I'm like, nah, I'll just make some little stand from Legos or something. I'll just screw that, plus I can make all kinds of stands anyway. Now let's move on to other things. Alright, I had picked up Ripper Snapper for the power to primes, and so far Hunger hasn't come out here, but I've got all the rest of the power to primes Obonimus. I think I'm saying that right. And I picked up him, which I had his head, tucked away here. But anyway, yeah. But my story here, though, is I was just wondering if anybody, this ain't going to be a review of tearing it apart or anything like that, but I noticed that there's a little slant up here in the top part. It's different color and everything else, right? And I was going, well, maybe it's whenever you transform it or do something special with it, it's supposed to slant out a little bit like that. But it actually comes completely off. And then I got to looking at it, and there is actually a pinhole in there where it looks like a pin's supposed to be, and there's a spot inside of here where it looks like a pin's supposed to go in there. And I was just wondering if anybody else has noticed that on this character that are collecting the power to primes Other than that, there's nothing. Love the figure. It looks awesome. Looks great. So I was just wondering if anybody had ever run into that one and some noticed that and just like, yeah, I'm tempted to actually maybe super glue it or even put a pin back in it. Onto other projects. I have decided to build me. Decided to build me a little project. Anyway, this is, if anybody knows, this is from the movie Devastator and everything else. This is missing a hook. I found this at a yard sale. It's all busted up and everything else. But the real story to it is, it is actually, see me up on here? It's actually Dreamcast. I am putting it together right now, and it works where you have the little button, you mash it, and it comes open right here. You fold these over to the side, like so, and then you have Dreamcast, and then your fingers come out in there. Anyway, yeah, I thought that would be neat to have a Dreamcast. This is the top part. Working on the internals of it, having a little problems with the laser and a ribbon cable, and trying to get a hold of another 16-pin flat ribbon cable for it. I had one, but they're all tore of some sort. So it did work, and then I noticed it stopped working, and I think it's just the ribbon cables just went out or whatever. So let's move on to other projects and everything else. So when I finish with that, I'll show it with Dreamcast and the game I got going for it and everything else, which I have a collection of Dreamcast games. Okay, now we have come across where we have the two airplanes from Power to Primes, Dreadwing and Blackwing. Let's see. Let's look into our handy dandy guide here and see which ones I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. Let's see. We have Dreadwing and Blackwing. All right. We have our Dreadwing right here. Right. We have our Dreadwing, and I've got them pretty much already set up to combine with the other guy, Dreadwing. And then we have a Blackwing. All right. And on the original G1 figures, they would combine to make the figure Dreadwing. So Dreadwind, and Dreadwing. Yeah. They would end up making the character Dreadwing combined. Now, on the G1s, they would originally connect and they would be pretty sturdy. You put them together and they'd be like one piece. But if anybody has the Power to Primes, there's only one connector here, one connector here. You put them together and that's it. And they're like, oh, that's so great. It's pretty, not that great. Let's just put it that way. Just isn't great. So there you can go, and I believe you can order an actual piece that connects on and everything else, right? But I did find out one thing just by sitting around looking at it, trying to figure out, well, how can I get this to combine and not be a piece of crap? Where it wouldn't just fall apart. Maybe it has some stuff, but not like I don't think it ever get to the point of like G1 where they were connected almost like they were solid one piece. But I did find out that you take the wings and you connect them together and get those pegs lined up, that peg and that peg, get them lined up, and then take the hand parts, the little missile / hand parts, right, that come with it, and you form and put the peg down in the back and everything, kind of get this kind of open-handed fist thing going on here, and you make sure that wing falls right up under it, under this part, kind of, I don't know if you can tell that, kind of under this wing a little bit, make sure it catches on that peg. Take this here and peg it into this other part, and let's see, in a downward motion like this. So I have to do this off camera because I can't do this up here like this, because I need to flip it upside down and do it. And do it here. So let's get the purple one, right? Because that's where I got that one formed. We're gonna peg that into that wing right there, right? Just leave the hands open, right? And then come around to the other part. All right, let's see if we can do this without it falling apart on me, because I tell you this is not the perfect thing, so we turn and do that, and we peg that in right like so. Let's see. Yeah. that wing. Let's pull that down for now. Get that out the way. The other one pegged in just fine. Alright, we bring that wing up. Alright, and so far, so good. Alright, let's see if we can hold this together. Like that. Alright, I'm going to do this so I can have the weight pushing down so I can do it while I'm looking at the camera. Alright, and if we go into it, alright, we push this wing down just a little bit, catch it on my thumb, take these fingers, fold them forward, and you feel that click come in there. Same thing over here, take these fingers, push them down, and then you feel that click come in there. And yes, you end up with a finger look on the back. You end up with a kind of a hand thing, but kind of like a thruster thing in the back. But you notice that now I'm holding it from the front and I'm slung it around. And it stabilizes. I mean, so it's not a way, you don't have to go out and buy nothing for it, but at least it stabilizes it out. So you see I'm kind of holding it. I'm still holding it good, but look, see? And it doesn't fall off. You know, see? Good. So yeah, so if anybody's out there doesn't want to put the money in trying to figure that out, to do it, I've noticed that you can do that with the hands. You just lock them into the wings and everything. Now it does look like two fists and everything else, but hey, it's a fix. It's an answer to locking those together and making them somewhat stabilized from what they were before. I mean, that one peg thing is just crap. But love the figures though. I like to display them connected like that because that's the way they were with G1, the first issue. And then whenever I can find me a Starscream and two more bad guy airplanes, I was planning on putting them together and making the opposite version of the aerial bots. Not Superion, but either way. I also updated my Grimlock. I'll show you 1 second. Well, the last time I talked to you, I had put a metal piece on the back of Grimlock to hold them together because this here was not working. This here does not work at all. You know, they've unclipped and everything else. And I had these little pieces added in. Well, this time I have added an actual back plate to them. And this actually comes off of a jet wing from the Armada series. Another one that I picked up at a yard sale, busted all the pieces and everything else. So I took some pieces apart, rebolted them and everything else. Took the arms from that, put it in there, and then heated the plastic, bent it down so it clips into the back here. And voila, I have the stabilized Grimlock. It works out great. I like it. And whenever they finally come out with the next two parts of the Autobots, Dinobots, I'll pick that up and I'll be complete with Grimlock. And as soon as I find Hunger, I'll be complete with Bottomus. And like I said, I want to do the Starscream, but I'm not worried about that because I plan on having the opposite of the Starscream. I don't think there's an actual name for the Starscream. Just Nega or negative of not Superion. I cannot think of the name, but the Autobots make the alternate to the Autobots. Not alternate to the aerial bots. But yeah, that's basically the long start of it. But this was not going to be a long video. Just wanted to go over that. Go over the dreadwing. So I'm gonna put this so if anybody finds it, they'll know what I'm talking about there, and maybe give somebody some answers. Maybe help out somebody out there. On crazy news on stuff this week. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Miss Annette always hooking me up with really good deals at the local. Well, I say good deals. She just tells me when they come in. Thrift store. Went over there and helped her work on a computer, and noticed as I was going outside that the door, she was holding it open by a little action figure. Yes, she had this stuck in the door of her house. She was holding the door open, the screen door, and she said, "Oh, I just stuck it there." It's an actual Battle Armor He-Man, and it's the original. And she had it stuck in the door, and I was like, "I'll get you something to hold your door open." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about it. I just been pushing it down there with my foot." And I said, "Well, can I have it?" And she was like, "Go ahead, take them," and everything else. So I was like, So it's all about crazy. You just look down and she's holding the door open with a He-Man figure. But either way, all right. Conclude all this today. I tell you, everybody go out there and support their local Goodwills and their local Salvation Army. Donate to them, or at least buy some things. You know, there's always something there. It's always helping, especially with with the disasters we got going on. The Goodwill around here really reached out and donated a lot of clothes to a lot of people that had lost a lot during Florence. So, on a crazy note, the area here, Florence, not the Hurricane Florence, but the Florence area. I say just a shout out to all of them in the Lake City, Johnsonville, Hemingway, and Darlington, Florence area. Really good people. Goodwill too at the same time. They're all Salvation and Goodwill. Go out there and support your local Goodwill and Salvation Army, especially with Christmas coming up. There's a lot of needy people out there that could use your help. On that hand, the reason why I had put out a video in the last few weeks is because clearing out the trees, I think I was talking about that last time, I had gotten infected with a lot of some kind of poison oaks, poison something or other, and it tore up my arm. I have never had a reaction for it before in my whole life, and I broke out so bad on my arm, and I was like, and some on my chest and everything else, and I was like, I didn't want to sit here on the camera and be like, and the video I got it. No, I was no. I still got some calamine lotion on it and everything else, but itching has finally stopped and it's finally getting better. But did not like that. But anyhow, well, this is Grimlock Gone, and I guess there's nothing else. No, there isn't. Well, this is Grimlock Gone, and I'm gone.